yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome back to Tight Sports. You know I like to have fun. I like to laugh. That's my little Harry Connick Jr., Michael Bublé. I can't even try to touch Nat King Cole, so I'll stop it right here. We're going to jump right into this. We are 7 days out. God, 7 days out. And I'm going to get started with the little Woodward sports. These guys, this is kind of an old one, but it's going back to that thing whether Alabama should be there, whether FSU got hosed or done wrong because their record versus the ACC and ACC and CNC and CNBC Music Factory. I just feel so tired of this conversation, but they added a little extra in there just to make themselves and their fans feel better. As you listen, I'll explain, and it will become very evident, I'm sure.
Just, Michigan, #1 in the country, and I think all eyes were on that college football playoff selection show yesterday. And can I just say this? Because it has been seen by, let me just, at 2:17 on Monday afternoon, 2:17 on Monday afternoon, I just want to see how many times. So Adam Rittenberg's video inside the Michigan watch party has been seen 12 million times. Okay?
And laughed at 12
and
million
the
times.
world
10 million of those were like Alabama fans. Right?
is reacting to that video.
Throwing shots.
Saying that, Michigan is scared to play Alabama. Essentially, they wanted Florida State. And let me just say, I was in that room as it was happening. Their reaction was exactly what 100% of the people watching that show yesterday, when it popped up on the screen, Alabama, it was oh my God, or an oh, or an ah, or an ooh, because they knew it was going to happen, but the surprise of a 13-0 Florida State team getting screwed is an audible gasp, I think. Braylon?
Do you want me to talk about their reaction, or do you want me to talk about my reaction to both?
Both.
All right. My reaction to Michigan is the people talking about Michigan was responding to seeing Alabama being the team that was picked. And oh my God, we have to play Alabama. Stop it, knock it off. You're talking about a team that played Georgia. Got asked for, but we were ready to play them. You talked about J.J. McCarthy diving there, was staying after that Georgia game, wanting to get that rematch, and then obviously playing TCU next year, losing again. Doesn't matter. We aren't scared of anybody. Michigan isn't scared of anybody. They legitimately played against Ohio State, Ryan Ermanni, in my estimation, with no head coach. They played against Penn State in Happy Valley. This is supposed to be one of the greatest atmospheres in college football, which it is. Got another W. So what
are you talking about?
They got away with a win, and they came out of it with a win. Michigan's not scared. Let's get that clear. It definitely was about not understanding. Me as a former player, I understand the analyst side of why they chose the teams they did and why it had to be like that. I'll get into that later. But just in the moment, as a former player, Ryan Ermanni, I start thinking about waking up at 6 in the morning in the summertime. I start thinking about running the golf course in Ann Arbor. I start thinking about, those practices that you didn't want to have because you really were hurt, but you had to gut through it and grit through it because you were, the end game is national championship. I remember the pressure that was on you to win every game just so that you give yourself a chance to be in the national championship. I remember losing, thinking you're going to lose a game, winning game 1, winning game 2, and then when you lose, because I never was privy to go undefeated, and when you lose, that season is over with, and all that hurt and all that frustration and all that pain, and we came up short. Not another game where we're just going to win the championship. You're talking about a team that didn't come up short. You're talking about a team that made it through everything that they had to, starting off the season, beating LSU, and their Heisman favorite in Jaden Daniels, team that beat every team placed in front of them, Power 5 conference, a team that won a national championship in 2013, a team with a cachet and a brand like that, and you go 13-0, win your conference, win your championship game, and they tell you, wasn't enough. As a former player, I was devastated. I would be devastated if I was those Florida State guys, and that's that gas that you saw as, we know what ESPN is going to do, but you don't believe it until they did it yesterday.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
As you can see, the man was insulting the Alabama people for watching the video 10 million times. This dude talking about where he was working out and he would be devastated, but he never went undefeated. I'm like, is he playing for Florida State or is he with Michigan, man? I just can't handle it.
Hey, Pete, see if you can find that Florida State video of when they found out that they didn't make it. As you're finding that, let me know. I will tell you this. Of course, people are going to go, oh, hell, we got to play Alabama. This ain't the same Alabama
just-
as you've seen in the past. It's just a natural thing. Oh, we got to play that big mouth Nick Saban and his big bad Alabama Crimson Tide. You know what? That big bad Alabama Crimson Tide beat a 1-win Arkansas team by 3. They beat Auburn, a 3-win team, on a Hail Mary miracle. And what did I say last week when that happened? Auburn let the genie out of the bottle. You know that effing team is going to make the freaking final. That's just the way it is. So, of course, we're going to say, damn, we got to play Alabama. First of all, wrong. Texas beat them in their own house. Texas deserved to be in front of them. And this year, the vaunted SEC had a losing record against the ACC. This was the year to leave them out, but God forbid you can't do that because you got everyone on ESPN, Paul Feinbaum, all the rest of those people. They would just crap all over you. And then if Michigan wound up winning the championship, or whoever won the championship, they'd say, well, it's a flawed championship. SEC wasn't in it. They're the greatest. They weren't the greatest this year. The AFC East used to be the greatest back in the day when they had Tom Brady and the Patriots. If you play the AFC East now, you can beat them. This Alabama team didn't deserve to be there. Florida State deserved to be there. Why do you always have to win with offense? Their defense was great. Louisville never had a chance in that game. Now, Louisville's not the biggest, baddest team in the world, but they won. Michigan won in the Big Ten against the crappy Big Ten. But they're the number 1 team in the country. Florida State's unbeaten against the ACC, winning record against the SEC, and they're out. Nothing makes sense in this. Nothing makes sense. But of course we're going to go, we got to play Alabama. But as the month progresses, you're going to see that it ain't the same Alabama team. And like Braylon said, Michigan, this is their 3rd time here. They're not going to lose 3 semifinal games. I'm telling you right now, they're winning that game.
Well, you can book that. Man, he's absolutely correct. The SEC was 4-6 versus the ACC. Look through the records. That's what actually happened. But when you look up here for SEC versus the, Big Ten? There's a blank spot, folks. There's a blank spot. They were not even courageous enough to sign up and play Vanderbilt. They couldn't play South Carolina. Their whole conference somehow magically avoided playing the SEC, which brings me back to a point you may have heard me mention before. Why do we allow the Big Ten to make every playoff? Everybody knows they got a whole division of trash. They got one decent division, but overall, their conference is very suspect. Just very suspect. And by the way, just because you played it 3 times in a row, that don't mean you're gonna win. That's absolute foolishness. Moving on.
Why are you covering your face? You think I'm wrong? You have your opinion.
I am fully convinced that facts do not matter. Everybody just has a narrative in their mind, and whatever they want to say, like, that becomes their fact, whether it's true or not. Not for 1 second, and I probably talked to 10 players after the announcement, not for 1 second was there anything but excitement in playing Alabama.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
That's just the truth. Not one player is scared to play Alabama. Not one. And in fact, I think if you took a poll of Michigan fans, I want to play Alabama.
Did I stutter?
Because one of the narratives is that Michigan's wins don't count. Michigan didn't play anybody during the regular season.
They didn't.
They cheated. There is one team in the country that has had 2 wins over top 10 teams. Do you know what that is?
Penn State's a false top 10.
I don't really give a care what you think Penn State is.
I know what
They're
they are.
ranked number 10.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's all I can go by. Okay? I don't really care what you think.
That's fine.
Secondly, Michigan, if they beat Florida State with no quarterback, Braylon, you know what they would say? You had the easy frauds. You had the
Fugazi.
You had the Fugazi. You had the easiest road to the national championship that you possibly could have. And remember last year how that worked out for them? I want this thing to be as buttoned up as you could possibly have it. What better way to win a national championship than getting the opportunity to play Nick Saban and Alabama at the Rose Bowl? And then whoever comes out on top of the other one,
It'll be Texas.
Fine.
Listen.
Go beat Texas? Come on, man. You can't take anything away from them at that point.
Of course not.
Now, granted, if you pull it off, can't take nothing away from it. But I'm telling you, as he just admitted, they don't play nobody. Again, why is the Big Ten always included? Why did Florida State have to lose out? It's because there's too much respect for the Big Ten.
Listen, Matt, listen, right? I agree with you 100%. You want Alabama. You want to beat the SEC team, so at least they can say, hey, you know what? Actually, I don't really care what they say. But just for the masses, just to appease everybody, I'm glad we're playing Alabama. Matt, as it relates to you saying, of course, I hope you were talking about fans were thinking that and not players. Because when I was a player, just like these players, not scared of anybody. As a former player, what is the whole rhetoric that I've been having before the season started? If Michigan was going to win a national championship, what year should it be? This year. Because what? Kyle McCord, unproven. Jalen Milroe, in my estimation, is an athlete playing quarterback who had some success in a lucky Hail Mary. He runs the ball a lot. And then what's the other guy? Beck. Didn't know what Beck was going to be this year. The quarterback of Georgia. I was like, they got a freshman quarterback. I see what that is. Beck had some good games in there, here and there. This was the year.
As they stated, they can go and talk to the players. And they talk to a lot of the coaches and the assistant coaches and the trainers and everybody else. Everybody, administration. So the plan that they have laid out is to dominate when everybody looks weak. How can you do that when there are 130-some teams in the mix? That doesn't sound like a plan of success. It would explain their performance in the last 20 years in these bowl games. So you're like, okay, Milroe's weak, unproven, Beck is down. The guy at Ohio State, his thumb is real big, so he can't grip the ball like he need to. It's gonna take him a year to get. Man, come on, man. Is this what they telling y'all? We got a real good shot. Because everybody kind of, they kind of sus. You know what I'm saying? They suspect. They suspect, so we should dominate and reign supreme. Zig Ziglar would call that something. I'm not going to say it here. Maybe after the game.
We have not been scared of Jalen Milroe. We are not scared of Alabama. And number 3, the wide receiver whose name I don't know. They definitely played physical against Georgia. Got to give them credit. But since we're talking about injuries matter, Georgia's 2 best offensive players were hurt in that game that the Alabama Crimson Tide barely won. Ladd McConkey, receiver number 84, is a stud. Went out early in the game. Brock Bowers is arguably the best player in college football. Not in his position, the best player in college football. He was out. So if you want to talk about injuries and how somebody won, Alabama beat a Georgia team that wasn't up to full speed.
Man, what is this man talking about? Brock Bowers played in that game. Brock Bowers had 5 receptions for 53 yards, no touchdowns. McConkey had 3 receptions, 38. I remember when he limped off, he came back. But it may surprise many of you to find that this stud he was talking about, McConkey got 29 receptions on the whole year. He is the 4th leading receiver on that team. So I don't know what Braylon is talking about. I mean, you reaching, grasping for straws right now, man, bro. Come up for air. And he keep talking about we ain't scared. Maybe his team was ready, but he ain't playing Monday. If I had to play Monday, I'd be scared to death because of my age. Look at this thing, man. McConkey played in the game. Bowers played. And Bowers is the 4th leading receiver on that team. So stop it. Stop it, sir. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop, man. Stop lying to your people. That's crazy.
But we don't care. Jalen Milroe and that Alabama team, congratulations. Can't wait to see you in Pasadena.
As you may or may not know, I just recently dropped my 100th video. And to commemorate the moment, my kids bestowed upon me a wonderful honor. YouTube doesn't care that I have 100 garbage videos, but my kids do. So they made me this awesome gift. It made me this awesome plaque, for lack of a better phrase, to commemorate the moment. And if you would, I'm gonna put it up here. If you would, we, you know, I know a lot of you guys are busy, but if you could, please subscribe to this channel, because we want to eventually replace this with something. There's nothing better than this, but if you could, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really, really need it. Just please. I gotta talk to that boy about that. Yeah, we did it. This was a funny yet informative conversation that Rich Eisen was having with Marshall Faulk. I thought it was funny, but it was crucial.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just yeah. This game on the first. We got some days. We got some days before we get to the game.
What do you think?
Can you guys win?
Of course we can win.
Don't just stop.
What are you talking about?
Serious.
Michigan needs to make sure Milroe has a long day. Michigan needs to have a run game, be consistent. And Michigan needs their quarterback to play, have a clean sheet. We do that, I think we win this football game.
Okay.
And Michigan has the...
Milroe's a grown man.
I know that.
Yep.
Like, he's not just some little dude you're tackling.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
Like, he's a little bit smaller than Derrick Henry.
Ooh.
I'm aware of that.
But that's what the dude. I'm
If
like,
he can have long
Wow.
days in the SEC, why not against Michigan's defense? Why not?
okay.
And this is a team that has, whether you feel it is appropriate or not, a mentality that everyone is against them, and they are using that as a rallying cry, as well as a way to play for one another.
I think that worked, and I believe that worked, Rich, when you guys weren't one. See, when you played Ohio State,
What's a number?
Everybody was like, say what?
What's a number?
That's the expectation. One is playing 4. There's an
That
expectation.
frying pan, baby.
Yeah, you're the favorite.
One is playing. You guys were when you guys were playing Ohio State. You guys weren't favorite.
This guy over there.
I'm telling you,
Honestly.
Rich, this matters with these kids. I'm serious.
I'm bringing you into it because every
all
time
of these games, Rich, think about it. When you guys went into, was it the Penn State game? You didn't have your coach. It was like, oh, we're not going to know. Like all of these,
we didn't know until 24 hours, like literally before,
Exactly.
like 10 hours. Like
So
they
the
flew you-
expectation,
Jim Study was out when you arrived on the tarmac.
Yes. So the expectation wasn't there. Like in this game, you guys are expected. You are the number 1 seed. You are expected.
So you're saying, Chris, over there, that a team that is expected to win cannot play the nobody believes in his card. Everyone's
No,
against
exactly.
this card. Hell no. Do you know how many
You're number 1.
Do you know how many times Brady went off to the Super Bowl and told Sully and Fitz at their farewell, we're going off to the Super Bowl party with a big rally. Nobody believes in this. And the whole country's like, get out of here. You've got 5
Do you remember that
trophies.
season when everybody said he sucked and that it was time to go to the
you're
backup?
telling me that J.J. McCarthy has Jedi mind tricks that he's going to use on himself to get him up for the game?
No, I'm hoping Jim does that. He's his spirit animal.
And the reality, Rich, is you guys are the favorite to win it all.
So do you think Michigan has no chance to win?
That's not true. I
What
believe
are
they
you,
have a
what are
really
you
good
saying?
chance.
I forgot. This is the Marshall Faulk conversation. I'm
I
just
did
going to
not
play
say
devil's
that.
advocate until I actually put it in your lap to see what you feel.
This wasn't about what I think and what I feel. This was about you.
I told you how I feel, and then you push back, and then you say you actually agree with me? Is that what you're saying?
I agree with you. They're the favorite.
Oh my God.
They are the favorite. See that little box I put you in?
Actually, you're in the box right now on the screen. Now we're the twos.
We're betting Alabama, right, Marshall?
So do you feel who wins this game?
Hey, man,
Alabama?
listen.
Why? Because the SEC? Because they're the SEC?
Only no.
Okay.
No. There's something with this team. The game against they should not even be there.
'Cause of what,
The
Auburn?
win against Auburn, I was just like, oh my God. I've seen some unbelievable games. That game, like what Milroe did.
Yeah,
and you don't, I mean, unless they start talking about it to this degree,
Yes.
they benched him. They played somebody else. They cycled through quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, isn't that how both Tua and Hurts got born into our national
No,
consciousness?
somebody got hurt.
Uh-huh.
Like that was somebody got hurt.
Well, no, Hurts got benched, in the national championship game.
Well, no, they pulled him in the
Yes,
game.
right.
So it wasn't like Milroe got benched.
Yes.
Like they took his job. That was different.
And that throw was great against Auburn. There's no doubt about it.
I just there's something I want to see, man. I've only Kirby Smart is the only one that's in this position done it to Saban.
Well, maybe Michigan could hire someone from the Georgia staff in time, for the game. Maybe they could do that. Alabama. That's what Alabama did.
I don't like where you're going with this.
Okay, very good. I mean, you just sat down and just I'm like, let's talk week 16.
No. I said, Rich, can I ask you a question? Did I not?
I remember how it started.
Okay. All right, cool. Good.
That was a great conversation. Little snippet there. Anyway, enjoy the rest of Christmas. If you lasted this long, don't eat too much. Leave that to me. And remember, roll, tide, roll.